Hey everybody, Lois here. So I wanted to have my friend Alfred explain to you what he did during World War II. He was in the Signal Corps. And so, it's one of those jobs that I had no idea was there. So remember, this is the 70th anniversary year of the end of World War II. So please look for a veteran, whether it's World War II or just any veteran, and say thank you. So here's my friend Alfred to share with you what he did during World War II.
My name is Alfred Daniel Gates, and there's a long story behind that too. And I served in the Army, and I reported down there for the special basic training for the Army Specialized Training Program. And it was halfway between infantry basic and infantry OCS, because in the specialized training program we were scheduled to go back to college and get a degree in whatever, engineering, whatever the Army needed. Well, anyway, in week 9 of this special basic training, they decided that they needed us more on the regular Army than going to school. They dropped 35,000 from the specialized training program, including all of us that were in basic training. And there were 35 of us that they assigned to the 23rd Signal Construction Battalion. Good grief. What in the world would the Signal Corps build? And we got together, and we're all 18 and a half years old. What in the world would the Signal Corps build? Must be pigeon coops. Well, anyway, it wasn't. But I asked him, I said, the people that were running things, I said, what the dickens is going on here? I mean, I'm doing well in the infantry. I've done some neat things. I mean, why did you put me in the Signal Corps? I said, well, because you had bad teeth. My teeth were all rotted out between each one. I said, I'm not going to bite anybody. But you don't argue with the Army. And I became a Signal Corps person, and I got to be a PFC, climbing poles, and they sent me to Camp Pickett, Virginia for the Signal Corps basic training, which included becoming a telephone lineman. And they'd gone up into the woods and cut a bunch of pine trees and made poles, 35-foot poles that we trained on. Well, I'd go to the top of the pole, and I'd cut out and burnt the pole. I mean, down. Fortunately, I had on leggings and leather gauntlet gloves, and I rode the pole down. Now, the guys I wasn't the only one that did that, climbed to the top of the pole and then cut out. Some of them grabbed the pole, well, that put splinters all up and down. I was fortunate. I rode the pole down with those leather gauntlet gloves. Took my hooks off, and the sergeant said, okay, run the rest of it. So the next session that we had, I get to climb up the pole. I did it 3 times. Finally, the sergeant said, Gates, you got to keep your hind end away from the pole. You got to maintain an angle with the hooks into that wood so it'll stay. Why didn't you tell me that before? Well, anyway, you don't argue with the sergeant. I got to the point where I could climb the poles and keep my hind end out I never was comfortable working on a pole. When I was working on the 1 pin or the 10 pin, I was almost horizontal to the ground. And anytime I got over head high on a pair of hooks, I was not comfortable. And there's a lot of long stories, but I ended up in Burma. And we didn't use pine trees for poles in Burma. When they built that was on the Burma Road, the Lido Road, from Lido, India to Kunming, China. And there are a lot of long stories to get to that point. But anyway, when they first built the telephone line, and the 96 Signal Construction Battalion built that telephone line, when they first built it, they were cutting trees in the jungles of north central Burma and float them down the Irrawaddy River while they skin them down and make poles out of them, and then float them down the Irrawaddy River and then build the telephone lines. About 3 months and fall down. The bottoms would rot out because the moisture and insects. Good night, this is not going to work. We've got to have telephone lines. And so they decided that since the jungles of north central Burma had a lot of teak wood, they'd try cutting teak wood trees. But I had to cut 2 regular trees and 1 teak wood tree and make poles out of them and lash them together, because teak wood will not float. It's too dense. And they'd float those 3 then down to where they were building the telephone lines and used the 2 regular trees for the natives to build houses with or whatever. And then they used the teak wood and made telephone poles out of teak wood. Well, by the time I got there, the line was all working. It was completed. And your hooks would go in maybe a 1/16